Thanks for tuning in to A Faithful Life. My name is Emunah Israel. This is day number 20 of the Proverbs Challenge. And we are here taking a walk. Where are we going? We're about to go deep into it. Shalom. Welcome to this special edition of I Need Some Fresh Air Up in Here. It's a beautiful evening. Welcome to A Faithful Life. My name is Emunah Israel, and we are at the lagoon, chilling, watching the waves come in, and just meditating on the Most High. It's awesome. I just like looking out at the water, you know, just to see how small we are and how infinite the Creator is. So praise be to the Most High. Today is Proverbs 23. It is an honor for a man or woman to cease from strife, but every fool will be meddling. And as I grow, like I've said in other videos, you know, before you get the little rush, because you're doing your debate thing, and after a while it's like, it's not worth it. If we can't have an upright discussion, if we can't discuss and respect one another's viewpoints, what's the sense of arguing? It's just a waste of energy, because you're really not going to achieve anything. It's kind of like going to war and trying to force the other individual to comply. If we're really all seeking for soul elevation, and if we're not, then we should just, you know, allow that individual to stay in their mindset. But to force people and try to make people, and you're gonna see it my way, no one wants that done to them. So, you know, we should try not to go about doing it to other people. Okay, and 5, counsel in the heart of man is like deep water, but a man of understanding will draw it out. And it takes time to hear, and it's the same thing working on listening, having patience, observing. It takes time to hear what the person's issue is. It says counsel in the heart of man is like deep water, but a man of understanding will draw it out like deep waters. Counsel in the heart of man is a deep water. It's like to get to the root of the problem, because a lot of times, you know, we complain or we're saying something, but we're not really saying what we should be saying, and we assume that other people know, like, the thought that's behind the reason why we're agitated, or behind the reason why we're angry. And so patience on the behalf of the other individual to hear out the situation, to hear out the person, will be able to draw out what's the real problem. And I like to say that from the top. What's the real problem? What's the real issue? Because this is just topical. It's for, like, me, for instance, when I get tired. For instance, this morning, I was like, you ever plugged in your cell phone and swore it was in and it was charged, but when you woke up in the morning, you only had one cell? That's how I felt this morning. Really tired and agitated and aggy and cranky, because when I get tired, I'm cranky. So when I go about my day, I have to know what is my real issue, you know. And maybe it be you need to organize your time more, or you need to go to sleep earlier, and it's something to be able to pinpoint the real issue. So here, I just thought that was interesting, and it is for me today. Counsel in the heart of man is like deep water. Being that I'm sitting by some deep water, that's definitely something to meditate on. You ever talk to somebody and say, you get me? Nobody doesn't really understand. They don't understand where I'm coming from. Or you'll be the person who doesn't think anybody ever understands, but you'll get that one person and that you say, exactly, that is exactly what I mean. Because that person is wise in the ability to be able to get to the root of the problem. Most men will proclaim everyone his own goodness, but a faithful man who can find? Most men or women will proclaim everyone his own goodness. Oh, you know, I'm the bomb. Oh, you know, I really could cook. Oh, you know, I really could sew. Oh, you know, I'm an expert bike rider, you know. And then when time comes to say, okay, now go out there and do it, it don't look too good. It says here, most people basically will proclaim everyone his own goodness. Like, nobody, unless you're like a really honest person, gonna say, you know, I'm not really good at, you know, math. Unless we're just looking for, you know, oh yeah, you are. Because sometimes people do the opposite. Sometimes people like to say, oh, you know, I'm not really good at this and I'm not really good at that. so that they could hit you to be like, oh yes you are, don't say that. So we have to watch out for that too. But I'm sorry, that's another topic. But it says most men will proclaim everyone his own goodness. Basically, I like to say, mouth made to say anything. Your mouth is made to say anything. People talk. People gonna proclaim themselves to be the greatest, the bestest ever, 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 ever. But it says here, but a faithful man who can find somebody who's trustworthy, somebody who's true. Like in the book of Isaiah, the Most High said he looked down and he saw the unrighteousness and he looked for a faithful person. He said, but I found none, no, not one. And he said, I had to make my own arm work out salvation for me. Because we can talk a good game, and that is the struggle with us as humanity, the difference between what we say and what we do. And if we meet somebody who is a person of their word, whether it be a man of their word or a woman of their word, take note of that person, and because that person keeps their word, and that is very few and far in between in these days. It's something that I'm working on myself, especially with children. Let me turn around for this. Especially with the young ones, the yeladim, the children. That's our Hebrew word for the day. Yeladim means children. We have to keep our word with these children. You know, the other day I promised my daughter, I forgot what I promised her, and I said, although the day was getting crazy, I said, no, let me do this because I promised her I was going to do it. And she turned to me at the end of the day and said, Mommy, thank you so much for keeping your word. When we disappoint children, especially when we saying stuff that we know we ain't going to do, if you know you ain't going to do it, don't just say stuff to them to get them off your back. Say, you know what, baby, I'm not going to be able to do that today. Or we'll see. But don't promise them, because although they used to say promises are comfort to a fool, but to a child, your word is your bond. And you're going to teach them how to be in life, whether to be trustworthy individual or whether just to say things that they really don't mean. So please, 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 please keep your word to the children. If you cannot keep it, don't give it. Even a child is known by his doings, whether his work be pure and whether it be right. I've heard often, you don't know me, you don't know what I think. And I'm like, well, I see what you do. And they say actions speak louder than words. So it doesn't matter what we think in the realm of when we say what trumps what. The action trumps the thought, because the action is the manifestation of the thought. So if the thought was pure, then the action would have followed. Here it says, even a child is known by his doings. We're gonna know for at the end of the day, at the end of the matter, is for what we do. You know what? When I get all of this kesef, which means, you know, monies, I'm gonna give it to everybody. That's the promise. A lot of politicians make that promise. Vote for me, vote for me, vote for me. And then what do? And then people say, I will never vote for them again. It says, even a child is known by his doings, whether his work be pure and whether it be right. So let us try to make our works match with our words. Words and works match. Both. Yeah, they both have a W. Let our words and our works match. This one has so many good ones in there. Maybe this video might be a little bit longer because the last few days I was like kind of cutting them short. I got two more. I promise, two more. 19. He that go about as a talebearer reveals secrets. Therefore meddle not with him that flatter with his lips. It goes something like this. Shh, I got something to tell you. And now I tell you, say, me see such and such. And then if you be the person like this, in where you say, you know what I'm saying? Be careful. It says, he that go about as a talebearer reveals secrets. You think that the person who's saying, psst, psst, let me tell you something, they not saying it about you too? Psst, you know, I was just at her house and you know what I saw? Be careful of that. Be careful of that type of individual. If you are that type of individual, pray to the Creator above to stop it. Stop walk out and tell people business. Especially if your name is always being called as the person, the he said, she said person. Pray the Most High to help you out of that, because that is not a very good way to be. Therefore meddle not with him that flatter with his lips. Oh, you looking so nice today. No, they don't mean it. Oh, I like those shoes. No, they don't mean it. "Oh, where'd you get that car from?" No, you don't mean it. All you want to do is to get information so that you can do what? Go chat. And in my realm, I like to call that chatty chatty. Chatty chatty. Can we say chatty chatty? If you're not Jamaican, it's okay. I'm going to say it slow. Chatty chatty. That's what we call that one. Let us not be chatty chatty and walk out. There's another word for it. Miss Mary Longtongue. I'm sorry, I'm giving y'all too many of the little lingos. But please, no lapping of the fractal and chatting people's business, because there's so much to do. There's so much beauty to see in the world that if we consume ourselves with the negativity and trying to take away from others, we missed our own blessing. And lastly, I promise this was the end here. Whoso curses his father or his mother, his lamp shall be put out in obscure darkness. I think I touched on this before. Let us not practice. On a serious note, hold on, let me get serious. Let us not curse our parents. Let us not curse our parents. Parents provoke children sometimes, and just sometimes children are just don't get it. However, it says here, whoever curses his father or his mother, his lamp shall be put out. That means, because in today's scripture it talks about the lamp. Let's see what the lamp is. 27 says, the spirit of man, the candle of the Most High, searching all the inward parts of the belly. That light is your life. And when the fifth commandment says, honor your mother and your father, that your days may be long upon the land. When you curse your parents, you cut your life short. For no reason, please. Better you just say, yes, mommy, yes, daddy, yes, Amy, yes, Abby, okay. And you pray to the Creator above to make it better. But you as the child, if you want your long life, if you want the ability to make amends for the errors that we have done, if you want the ability to realize your potential, if you want the ability to manifest your destiny, don't do it. Please. I have a personal experience in seeing it, and it doesn't come to a good end. But on this note, we shall come to a good end in saying, glory be to the Most High and His creation. Let me give y'all a panoramic view of the view I'm taking in today. A nice little, you want to breathe? Fresh air this Sunday afternoon. Yom Rishon, the first day of the week. This has been a faithful life. If you haven't subscribed, look, please do so right here in this part of the water. And if you haven't seen all the other episodes, you can find them right here. Now again, my name is Emunah Yisrael. Thank you for joining me on this breath of fresh air, a faithful life episode, day number 20. 11 more to go. Woo! Shalom.